King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Small request, man. Stop hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So there it goes.
Or in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had some in the neighborhood with me that broke up.
I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son?
To make him look better, he said it, he know not true.
Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas? His ass going to prison.
Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
Neighborhood. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there.
Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him.
But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Cause he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was sucking pacify till he was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it.
Cried like a baby, hold his breath.
Yeah.
Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
But they ain't going to tell you everything like that. They're trying to hide it.
You know, he done got all the whippings, he done got the punishment, he done did it, he done, did everything as a child you could do to him.
You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see.
Ain't nothing me, his mama, or nobody else gonna be able to say about it, man.
You lying. You lying. You lying. You lying.
But I'ma love him all the way through whatever it is he going through. You know what I mean?
I know you. I know you. I know you.
All right, y'all. This is what we're talking about today. What's up, Shira? What's up, Terica? Everybody, drop your city in the chat. Tell me where you are or tell me where you're from. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So everybody drop their city in the chat. And everybody, of course, as you already know, y'all know what I'm about to say. Hit the like button. And I got my Meta glasses on, so folks on Instagram are able to see exactly what I'm seeing. So they're probably looking at me like, what is going on? I'm using my new Meta glasses. So everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Shout out to Philly, shout out to the Bronx, shout out to NYC, shout out to South Africa. Shout out to Indiana. Shout out to Cincinnati. Okay, so we've seen this video at least about 20 times within the last couple of days involving T.I., Tiny, and King. And for those who don't know, T.I.'s son allegedly got into, because we can't really tell what type of fight it was. So we'll just say an altercation at the Falcons game the other day. And what I want to do is have a conversation with y'all about why this young man may be so angry at his parents. And we're about to break this down because I think it's more to this than King just simply being a bad kid. I think he feels a certain type of way. And that's what we're going to talk about. So everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And before I get started, I want to say something very important. So we'll start off with this. Everybody hit the like button. The first thing I want to say is shout out to T.I. for building a family and raising his family without leaving his family like I did. See, I'm not gonna come on here and talk about this man's son and call him a bad parent or all this crazy stuff. No. Sometimes as parents, we don't necessarily either realize or we're not aware of what our children's experience of us actually is. And that's something that nobody really either talks about or nobody's even able to talk about, because most people, unlike me, Ti, and a lot of other people, not many other fathers, we see or are able to see how, what's the word? We're able to see, because we have grown kids. Most people don't, but me and Ti and some other people, we have grown kids, right? So we're able to actually interact with our grown kids, and they're able to interact with us in a way where they're able to tell us how they feel about us presently and how they felt about us as we were raising them. So I'm going to talk about this from the view, or from the lens of how a father is now able to have a conversation with his grown child and hear their experience of us. Most people can't do that, because either y'all don't have any kids, or y'all kids are like 9 or 5 or something. I, along with Ti, have grown kids, and I, just like Ti, is able to interact with our kids in a way that nobody else is able to yet. So, with all that being said, I broke up my family at a young age, right? And due to that, me and my oldest daughter went through a whole bunch of stuff. And with all that being said, I'm able and was able to find out that I wasn't as good of a father as I thought I was, right? Because your child can easily tell you what you did wrong once they grow up. And that's what we're talking about. So shout out to Ti for holding his family together for 10, 15, no, probably 25 years. He didn't divorce, he didn't give up, he didn't leave. Shout out to Tiny for not divorcing him and leaving and putting him on child support and taking half his stuff. So that in particular, before we get into the parenting, before we get into all of this other stuff, I want to give Ti and Tiny their flowers for doing something that most of us parents have not done. Because most of us, we're either ex-wives and ex-husbands, or baby daddies, or baby fathers. So that's the first thing I want to say. Shout out to Terica. What's up, Terica? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And people on Instagram are probably wondering what the heck is going on. I'm doing this live from my Meta glasses. I gotta find out about an affiliate link, but I'm watching this. Y'all are watching this from my Meta glasses, and this is somewhat of a weird experience for y'all. But yeah, I want to do that. But everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button, and let's keep going on with this video. This is King getting into it with his dad, Ti.
I know you
Ain't
though.
no mystery about
I
his.
know you though.
Man,
I know
get
you
your
though.
fat
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself. Man, you embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is you talking
Get
about?
off me,
Bruh,
man. Get off me,
well, you can't do nothing with me.
All right. So before we get to this next clip, because this next clip is going to be extremely important, I'm going to back up a little bit and just comment on what I see right here. Everybody hit the like button.
Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
All right, right here. King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? What this is actually doing, to a certain degree, because I may be wrong, is actually dismissing King's experience of his parents, saying, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face, can actually be saying to King, you need to be grateful for never waking up with a roach on your face. But what this actually is saying from his standpoint is that has nothing to do with my trauma, my issues, and my experiences, right? You can't turn around and say that just because you as a father woke up with a roach on your face when you was a kid, but I didn't, that I have a great childhood. That is extremely dismissive. So the first words coming out in this video is literally unadulterated dismissiveness. Let me know what y'all think. As parents, do y'all agree or do y'all disagree? I'm gonna give y'all a second. Do y'all agree or disagree with what I just said? Is T.I. telling his son or asking his son, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? Is that dismissive to King's experience of being raised by these two people? Black parents always want to say that. You agree, right? So that's the first thing I want to let y'all know. That's the first thing I want to let y'all know. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna put it back on here. I think y'all was getting dizzy looking for my glasses, but it's dismissive, right? But as a parent, you may not see this as being dismissive. You may not see this as being dismissive as a parent because you're just simply looking at things from your own lens as a parent. Yo, I put you in this house or this mansion and you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth and you're sitting here getting mad at me. What else do you want from me, right? Kind of like the Tyrese thing. What more do you want from me? But when you look at it from his standpoint, this young man does not give a damn about growing up with a roach on your face because he grew up amongst 7 other people, 9, well, not including himself, amongst 6 other people, because he had 6 siblings. They had 7 kids and 2 parents. And I think there was another woman. I don't know if it was whose mom it was. I just remember on the show, it was a third parent figure, right? And then the mother, the grandmother, right? So I grew up being the only child, right? I did not have the type of life, whether bad or good, as King had. King grew up amongst 6 other siblings, or 5 other siblings, because one of the children is like 2, right? So let's just say 5 other siblings. And that in itself has a huge amount of issues in itself that I, in particular, who was the only child, did not grow up with, right? But I grew up in the hood. I can relate with the roach on your face type of stuff. I grew up under a single parent, which had its own issues, right? So imagine if me and King and not T.I. and King was having this conversation, right? I could turn around and tell King like, yo, I just grew up with a single mother. I wish I had my daddy around me. I wish I had this. I wish I grew up in a mansion, right? I would literally be dismissing this man's feelings because he could turn around and say, yo, but they didn't even raise me. I lived around my grandmother. But you could turn around and say, so what does that have to do with anything, right? So we have to, just in the beginning, look at all of this and separate it and take ourselves, our own experiences out of this situation. Because I know all y'all want to do is sit here and say, he's a brat. He's ungrateful. No. So, like I said, this man grew up under Zonique, Messiah, Damani, and Deja. Those are the older siblings, right? And he grew up over Major and Eris. And Eris is probably, I don't know, 5 years old or whatever. So I'm sure Eris wasn't even there, right? So he started off as the baby for a while, right? King was the baby for 3 years because Major is 15, right? So for 3 years, King was the baby. And all of a sudden, guess what? He wakes up one day and he is no longer the baby because now here comes Major. And according to what I've seen on the actual show myself, Major was not over his grandma's house all the time. Major was in the house. King spent his whole life, according to what King said, over his grandma's house. So it's like, yo, when I was a baby, I had to deal with this. I had to deal with that. But when Major became the baby, he gets all the love from his mom and his daddy. So let's keep going. So the whole basis of this conversation is strictly one thing in particular. Experiences are important. How you experience your parents versus how your parents experience you is extremely important. Hit a like button, hit a like button, hit a like button, hit a like button. And Facebook is 400 people on here on Facebook. And I need 400 people to hit a like button. Y'all tripping. So right now, Facebook in particular, it's 400 of y'all on here. Can 400 of you hit the like button? Well, 350 of you hit the like button. All right. YouTube, y'all hit the like button too. But Facebook. Right now, in the next 30 seconds, I need every last one of you to hit the like button. Come on. I'm talking about. There's so many of you on here that have not hit the like button. So I need y'all to hit the like button and also hit the share button. Hit the like button and hit the share button. Hit the share button and hit the like button because a lot of you have children. And this particular video can literally change your entire life or your child's entire life because there are certain things that we're going to talk about because this is very personal to me because me and my daughter had an issue for years. And it took my ex-girlfriend to enlighten me on something where I didn't even know that I was doing something wrong. And because she enlightened me on something that I can enlighten you on, or somebody in your family or somebody that you're cool with, I can literally change your entire dynamic with your child. So I need everybody, especially on Facebook, to hit the like button and hit the share button. All right, we're at 120 likes on Facebook right now, and it's 400 people on Facebook. I need the rest of you to hit the like button too. Okay, so let's keep going.
Small request, man. Stop hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So there it goes.
In your ear.
So right here, T.I. says, stop getting in my comments trying to tell me what to do about my son. I think that's problematic because where I'm from and where T.I. is from also, we both grew up in Atlanta. It takes a village to raise a child. I'll say it again. It takes a village to raise a child. So when you are talking about your son and going through all these different issues with your son, somebody in your comment section can literally help you with you and your son's dynamic. Facebook, I need y'all to keep hitting the like button. Y'all stopped. Keep hitting the like button. Facebook, hit the like button. YouTube, hit the like button. The likes were going up. Now they stopped. Hit the like button, Facebook. Y'all tripping. Too many of y'all in here without hitting the like button, and hit the share button also. So it takes a village to raise a child. So TI, just from a father to a father, is important for you, and it's important for me also to be open and receptive to what people are saying in the comments involving your son. Because somebody can help, whether it's me, whether it's somebody else. Like I said, with me, I thought I was doing everything. I thought I was a perfect dad. And my oldest daughter, we will always have these issues, right? We'll be butting heads and stuff. And I'm just like, yo, what is wrong with you? I raised you. Because even though I broke up my family, unlike TI, I was always in my kids' lives, right? But there was always this arrogance that I had where I was like, yo, you need to be happy that you had a father. All these women out here raising these kids and there's no father, and all these kids out here growing up without a father, and this is how you reward me. I actually felt like I should have a certain amount of admiration, or I should get what would you call it? A freaking badge of honor for actually being a father. No, we made these kids, and these kids didn't ask to be here, right? So when you turn around and sit here and think that you just being there is enough, it's not enough. I'll say that again. You being a father to your kids and you just being there is not enough. It's bigger than just being there. It's about being present in your child's life. So I'm just going by what T.I. is saying when he said, get out of my comments trying to tell me about my son. Somebody in your comments can literally change your life, because we don't know everything. Whether you're a mother or whether you're a father, we don't know everything. And one person can come in here and say one little thing that will have you like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that, because it happened with me. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we were together. Everything was good. And one of the things that she had a problem with me is my okayness with me and my oldest daughter's relationships being screwed up. Because just like T.I. said, hey, it ain't nothing I could do. It is what it is. Oh, well. And she was just like, what do you mean, oh, well? Just like what T.I. said right here. Whether he said it, listen to what T.I. says. I had the same way of thinking of this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had some in the neighborhood with me that broke up.
I know my son.
Right here.
Think I ain't spoke to my son?
To make him look better, he said it, he know not true.
Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison.
See right there. That's dismissive. That's, I give up. There's nothing else I can do. And that is the attitude that I actually had. I had that attitude. I actually thought that, hey, our relationship is the way it is. It is what it is. I had that attitude, and it was a bad attitude. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, y'all. And before we keep going, let me drop this link in the chat. Hit the like button, y'all. And play this commercial, and we're gonna come right. Y'all know that Christmas is coming up, right? What do All right, y'all, we all know that Christmas is coming up, right? What are you buying everybody? Who wants to be going through malls trying to figure out what to buy for people? I got a gift that everybody would love. My family empowerment shirt. Family empowerment, God, husband, wife, child, the way it's supposed to be. You can buy this for anybody in your family. You can buy it for your friends, your coworkers. And I got hoodies of different colors, and I have shirts of different colors. And of course, I got my Deeper Discussions card game, which will not only help you vet a potential dating prospect, but it's fun to play with the family. And the questions in this game are about family dynamics. So you could just open a card game, sit on the table, and everybody pick a card and have fun asking each other fun questions. So pick up 3 card games, 1 for yourself and 2 for other people. Get you a few family empowerment hoodies, and boom, you're set. And the majority of your Christmas shopping is done already. Either click the link here or click the link here, or go to my bio and you'll see everything there.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
All right, the link to buy my card game, the link to buy my family empowerment t-shirts or hoodies are pinned in the chat. How much is your card game? My card game is $28. Hit the link in the chat. The link is also under this video. The link is actually over this video. And if you're on YouTube, there's a shop button where you could just hit the button and boom, you got the website. So you ain't got to hit no link. And if you want to get the family empowerment shirts, just scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see everything else also. But buy my card game, it's right here. It will change your entire life. And speaking of my card game, because I'm about to say something that's very important. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. I'm about to say something very important. I have questions in this card game that has a lot to do with family dynamics, right? When I first came out with my card game, I let my daughters play it, right? And one question in this card game is, which parent, we're talking about T.I. and his son King, right? And Tiny. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, share this video. One of the questions in this card game that is important for you to buy, link is in the bio. Under this video. One question said, which one of your parents was the most emotionally unavailable? I let my kids play this. Both of my daughters are grown, right? As a parent, this was crazy. One daughter said her mom was the most emotionally unavailable between the two of us. Watch this. My other daughter said I was the most emotionally unavailable between me and my ex-wife. And I'm like, wait, how is it that my 2 daughters literally experienced me in the opposite way? One daughter thought I was the most emotionally available, and my other daughter thought I was the most emotionally unavailable. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And the reason for me bringing this up is this. Sometimes you may not realize that all of your children, if you got multiple children, they all, or they both, experience you as a parent, mother or father, totally differently. You don't realize that if one child is 4 years older than the other or 6 years younger than the other, you were a totally different person 6 years ago. So you parented one child 5, 6 years ago, totally different than how you parent the new child that is now a certain age. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree and you see what I'm saying. I don't want that to go over somebody's head. So if you have a a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old, you most likely are going to be a better parent to the 10-year-old than you were to the 16-year-old. Because within a 6-year period, you grow, you learn, you understand, you make mistakes. It's almost like the older child is like a crash dummy child. And you done mess that child up left and right, made so many mistakes with that child. And now you like, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again. And then here comes a 10-year-old. And now you're like, I love you. I love you. I'm never going to treat you badly. And the older child is like, you didn't do me like that. You didn't treat me like that. You weren't attentive to me like that. You didn't love and hug me like that. And next thing you know, that child is like, King, you don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. And you as a dad or you as a mom is like, what are you talking about? I raised you the best I could. No, you didn't, because I see proof that you did not raise me the best you could, because my sibling is having a better experience than I did. I was a crash dummy child, and now you done threw me or had me all looking crazy, made all these mistakes with me, and now my sibling is getting the fruits of my suffering. Somebody says, what has King been through? Nothing. See, hopefully you don't have kids, Tyson, because a lot of you kidless people, childless people, have no understanding of what you're talking about. A lot of you have resentment towards your parents. What's up, Deborah? And then you turn around and look at a kid and say, how dare they resent their parents? You resent your parents. So, sir, you said you have 3 kids? Good. Be a better father by being more present and attentive, because your verbiage towards me or towards King is dismissive. And if you're dismissing what I'm saying, or you're dismissing King's experience of his father, most likely you're going to be dismissive of your own children. So how about you take this time to learn instead of being argumentative? What is King going through? You're dismissing this man's feelings, this young man's feelings, just like T.I. possibly is. I'm a good father. What is wrong with you? This is the problem with Black people. Can't nobody tell us nothing. Let's keep going. Y'all tripping, man. We got to listen to this young man.
I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
So right here, he says, I never ate with a silver spoon a day in my life. And they're like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. How about we listen to this young man? And can y'all please hit the freaking like button? Right now, I need 200 of you to hit the like button. And I know YouTube, y'all like, yo, it ain't nothing but a certain amount of us on here. It's 400 people on Facebook. Okay. So it's 2 different platforms. So Facebook is 400 of you on here. Can you please hit? I need 200 more of you to hit the like button. Y'all tripping right now. I need 200 of you who have not hit the like button to hit the like button. And shout out to Linda. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Deanna. Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to Darren. Shout out to VD. Shout out to Wiz. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Fausa. Shout out to Shantae, shout out to Elsa for hitting the like button. I appreciate y'all. But the rest of y'all have not hit the like button. Shout out to Nikki, Desiree, Dante, Tiara, Land, Shay. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's go. Okay. Let's keep going. Keep hitting the like button, y'all, and share this video with somebody that can use this. A lot of y'all are friends with parents, and you are a parent. Let's go. Hit the like button. Share this video. Share this video. Share this video. Share this video.
You used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go.
See, this man is literally like, yo, I was at my grandma's house. You cried like a baby. Bro, can you listen to this man? Listen to what he's sitting here talking and listen to how he gets overtalked.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, you used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go.
See what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, I'm not saying T.I. is wrong. I'm just saying that there are two totally different realities going on simultaneously. T.I., you cried like a baby to go off your grandma's house. That's true. But one thing we have to do as parents is let go of our way of seeing things and listen. You cried like a baby. Okay, yes, I did. But you are not listening, to my interpretation of what I went through as a child. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. There's two different realities going on at the same time when you have a child that is a teenager.
Your grandmama
Every day.
You to hold your breath.
Every
And
day.
no tantrum to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there.
Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it.
See how he sounds like, because I don't know, but do you see how T.I., to a certain degree, seems like he's given up on his son? Ain't nothing I can do about it, right? That's the same thing that happened with my daughter. That's the same thing that happened with me and my daughter. I would let my feelings just dissipate and be like, yo, there's nothing I could do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my daughter's my daughter. My relationship with my daughter is the relationship with my daughter. It is what it is, right? And the girl I was in a relationship at that particular point was like, are you serious? And I was like, sounded like T.I. It is what it is. It is. I don't know what he want me to do. And she was like, I have a problem with this. She was like, this is a problem. I was like, what are you talking about? Listen to her. See her. Hear her. Right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And part of the reason why she broke up with me is because I didn't get it. And she was like, yo, you don't understand. You don't understand. And she was like, I don't want to be with somebody that does not see his daughter the way I see his daughter, and I don't even know her. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm literally sounding just like T.I.
I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him.
Ain't nothing I could do about it. It is what it is. I was just like that. And she was looking at me like, what are you talking about? Go after her. She won't answer my calls, or she won't do this, or she give me her ass to kiss. Or I'm like that, right? She was like, go after her. I'm like, what are you talking about? How? What do you want me to do? My daughter used to block my number sometimes when we get into it. I'm I'm like, my number's blocked. I was just like, just like T.I.
But they don't understand that.
Hold your breath.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there.
Ain't no way around.
So I had the same attitude that T.I. had right here.
Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him.
Just really like lackadaisical, lukewarm about it, like whatever, right? Do you know after that girl broke up with me, I went to my oldest daughter and was like, yo, this is what she said. My ex-girlfriend said this. What is your opinion about that? My oldest daughter said, she's right. Huh? She said, she's right. I feel like to a certain degree, you've given up on our relationship and you don't really care. I said, I do care. I don't know what else to do. And she was like, well, how about you ask? I was like, I thought I did. Well, you didn't. I didn't. She was like, no. Me and my oldest daughter are like this now because of my ex-girlfriend. My oldest daughter was like, your ex-girlfriend is a blessing because she was able to show you what I've been trying to get through to you for years. And I was like, whoa. So what I'm saying to all of y'all and what I'm saying to T.I., if he's listening, there is still work to be done. You can get through to your son. And I'll read the super chats in a minute. I appreciate y'all. You can get through to your son. You can save your son's life. There's another dimension of parenthood that some of us don't even think exists. I'm in that fourth dimension of parenthood now. My daughter will tell you, I'm there. I actually talked to her last night. I was like, yo, you want to do this show with me? There's a fourth dimension of parenthood that a lot of us don't know exists. And I'm letting y'all know that it's there. There's a side of us as parents that don't want to see our children, don't want to hear our children. And some of y'all have experienced this with your own parents. See, there's a possibility that King doesn't feel heard. King doesn't feel seen. And you could tell in this altercation right here. He's trying to talk to them, and all they doing is over talking them. Even the mama talking, Tiny.
They don't understand that.
No, I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there.
See? Look at her. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Why don't we listen to the reason why he's like this from his own mouth instead of y'all snatching a phone from him?
He can suck and pacify over there. Till he was 12 years old. He was sucking pacify till he was 12 years old. He didn't do that in the house.
And the thing about it is, she's telling the truth. He probably wanted to go over there because he wanted to suck his pacifier. He probably wanted to go over there because it's more lenient. But that does not mean there was not trauma.
I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it.
Crying like a baby. Hold it real.
Yeah.
I was here. T.I., I'm letting you know now. I was here. I was there with you where I'm like, hey, I already made my peace with it. There's nothing I can do about it. There is something you can do. I'm letting you know there is something you can do. And I can't tell you how to do it because I didn't know how to do it. It took a woman to break up with me for me to actually see it. All right, shout out to Cookie. She says, my daughter told me that I was too blunt. I was condemned. hold on. Okay, I guess I was condescending, I guess. Conduces. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming you mean condescending. But I worked on being softer with her. You have to listen to your kids. We good now. I totally agree with you. We got to learn. Shout out to what men would tell you. We don't need to understand. You don't know the hell you're talking about. Talking about we don't need to understand. And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the freaking problem. We run around thinking that we don't need to understand. And that's why black people are so screwed up, especially when it comes to parenthood. Hit the like button, hit the like button. YouTube, hit the like button. Facebook, hit the like button. YouTube, hit the share button. This can literally change the way you think and the way you operate. And also play my Deeper Discussions card game with your adult or teenage children. I'm telling you now, I played it with my kids and it was an eye opener. So I'm going to say this again. Everybody watching, if you have teenage or adult children, even if your child is like 9 or 8 and they can articulate their words, please buy this Deeper Discussions card game. Yes, there's some dating questions in it. Just take those questions out and play the rest of the game. It's 80 cards in here. Play this game with your teenage, 9-year-old or adult children. I promise you, something will show up in your psyche where you're like, yo, I didn't know this about my own kid. I'm telling you. See, I can't make y'all drink. I can just lead y'all to water. If you actually have a child, whether it's 9, 12, 16, or 20, play this Deeper Discussions card game with your children. The link is in my bio. The link is on in my bio on TikTok. The link is over this video on Facebook. The link is under this video on YouTube. Look for the shop button. I'm telling y'all now, this is very important. Thank you for the super chat. What men would tell you? You said understand manhood, not women. We talk about children, sir. What are you talking about? God damn it. All right. Let's keep going on with the video. I have grown children, and though I experienced, I had to walk away and be there when they fall.
I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out.
But they ain't gonna tell you everything like that. They're trying to hide it.
No.
They're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide it. And I'm not saying T.I. is trying to hide something on purpose, but sometimes we just don't want to see. We don't want to see that there's a possibility that we were a bad parent. I'll say that again. We don't want to see that there's a possibility that we were bad parents. I had to see it. My ex-wife was a bad parent to a certain degree. I was a bad parent to a certain degree. But guess what? We did not see it. Because my children are great. They're amazing. They ain't twerking. They don't even listen to rap music. Like, they are great kids. They ain't running around here doing all this stupid mess like all these other women are doing. Like, the rest of these women are a plumb embarrassment. And my children look at y'all and be like, yo, these women are crazy. My children are part of the reason why I do what I do. My oldest daughter came to me and said, Daddy, these women are nuts. And I agree with her. And I'm like, why do you think you're not nuts? And she literally said, because of you and mommy. So even from her words, we are great parents. But we were good parents and not great parents. So hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Buy my card game. What men would tell you, thank you for the super chat, women cannot lead children, only manhood can. But we're talking about T.I., which is a man. And that's the thing I don't understand with what you're saying. What men would tell you. We're talking about T.I., which is a man, and his son, which is a boy. What women ain't in this? Yeah, Tiny grabbed the phone, but I don't understand why you saying this stuff. Men led, whatever. I don't understand. I agree with you, but there's a man leading this boy.
He done got all the whoopings. He done got the punishment. He done did it.
See, right here. T.I. says he done got the whoopings. He done got the punishment. But did he get the love? Did he get the security? Did he get the attentiveness? Did he get the understanding? Does he have a voice in your household? Or did he just get ignored? Even now, is his running around acting a fool, which he is acting a fool? Does him acting a fool get dismissed? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Letitia's third eye POV. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And what men would tell you, he's a male, not a man. He's a beta. No, he's a child. Okay. He's not a man. He's not a beta. He's a freaking child. See, the number one reason why I do what I do, hit the like button, y'all. The number one reason why I do what I do is for these children. Okay. I take parenting. That's why I came up with this shirt, family empowerment. It takes a village to raise a child. Right. And as you can see, God is first, then the husband, then the wife, then the child. And sometimes we think we're enough. No, we're not. We need God. We need the commenters. We need a cousin. We need an auntie. We need an uncle. We need the wife. We need the other siblings. We need everybody together under one accord. We need all of this. So one thing I want everyone to learn is to be present with your child and be present every day with your child. Put your phone down and see your children. Experience them. Now, to T.I.'s defense, King does seem to have gotten a lot of T.I.'s attention when he was a kid, when he was on the show. I'm going to show y'all that too in a second. So, because I got a lot to show y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button.
Did everything as a child you could do to him.
You want to hide it for the world? I'm going to put it out there for them to see.
Ain't nothing me, his mama, or nobody else gonna be able to say back.
That's a lie. There's another dimension. If you agree that there's another dimension to parenthood that we have not tapped yet, put a 1 in the chat. Do you think you've done everything you can do as a parent? I don't think you have. Put a 1 in the chat if you have an understanding that there are a lot of things that you have not tapped into thus far as being a parent. Put a 1 in the chat if you realize that you are not a perfect parent and there are some things that you did wrong and there are some things that you're still doing wrong. We need to let go of our egos and stop running around thinking that we know what we're talking about. Put a 1 in the chat if you are cognizant that I don't know everything. Oh, I'm just going to give up because I did everything I got. No, you haven't. And I've been there where T.I. is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. I don't know. I've been there. That's why this particular conversation hits so deeply for me. Pause. Because I was recently there. That's one of the reasons why me and my ex broke up. Because I was not able to see my child the way she was able to see my child. And she don't even know my child. That's what's crazy. But she felt my child's pain. You know why? Do you know why? Because her dad did the same thing to her. She immediately seen what my daughter that she never even met was going through with me, because she was going through it with her own father. But I bet her father, just like me, would be like, what are you talking about? I'm the perfect parent. I did everything I was supposed to do. What are you talking about? You're crazy. But to the child, you're like, yo, you're trash. You're problematic. You're dismissive. But we don't want to see it. And I'm saying we don't want to see it because we don't. Because all of us have so many big egos as parents, and we sit here and think that we're the best parent in the damn world, and we're not. Thank you. Kids need respect too. And part of that respect is to hear them and to see them.
Man.
You lying. You lying. You lying. You lying.
But I'm going to love him all the way through whatever it is he going through. You know what I mean?
I know you. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though.
T.I. is in the background saying there's no mystery in my history. There's mystery in King's history, though. There may not be mystery in your history, T.I., but there's mystery in King's history that you have not tapped into. And to King, it seems like, because it seems like you really love your son, but to him, it seems like you don't care about the mystery in his history.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no.
And Tiny is literally saying, you joking. She said the word joking. This man ain't joking. This young man is hurting, and she's up here like, yo, you joking. Joking? You don't even see this young man either. So that means both parents are possibly dismissive. Because we're going to talk about Tiny also.
Joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is she talking about?
Right here. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. No. What T.I. is actually saying, you are embarrassing us. We have an image to protect. You know, the family hustle, the TV show. We're awesome. We're like the Huxtables of the new generation. No. So what he is saying is you are embarrassing us, not yourself. Do you think that little boy cares about him being embarrassed? He's the one on his own live. He don't care. He's trying to expose something that nobody knows about. So you are embarrassing us, King. We are the Huxtables, King. And you are shedding light on us not being the Huxtables, King. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, and share this video. Share this video, share this video. Because it's about to get way deeper, y'all.
Well, you can't do nothing with me.
About that TV show, man, that got people confused because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma.
What y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? I live with my grandma. Can't see the video. TikTok, you have to go over it on Mr. Let Go on YouTube. Mr. Let Go on YouTube. Or Mr. Let Go on Facebook. Mr. Let Go on Facebook. MRLETGO on Facebook. MRLETGO on YouTube. Go now and see the video because you can't see the video. So go to Mr. Let Go on Facebook. MRLETGO on Facebook. Or MRLETGO on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the video. But what do y'all think about that, y'all? He literally said everything right there. The show is misleading.
You're embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is you talking about? Well, you can't do nothing with me.
About that TV show, man, that got people confused because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay?
So right here, this is a young lady who had her dad and mom in her life. And watch what happened to her. And watch what I said. This is very important, everybody. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay attention to you at all? He was always like working and busy. I'm a dancer, but I started doing this like later in my life.
And real quick, do y'all see this? He's acting out for a reason. I totally agree with you, Denise. I am Denise. And shout out to what men would tell you, talking about T.I., not his son. I still don't really understand. Like you said, okay, I get it. Oh, you saying T.I. is a male and not a man? Okay, I'll disagree with you, but okay. It takes a lot to be a father to all these children, man. But listen to this. This is so important right here.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay attention to you at all? He was always like working and busy. I'm a dancer, but I started doing this like later in my life.
So right there. What if King had the same reality as this young lady? She became a stripper, and King is becoming this little thug, run around fighting everybody. Do y'all see the similarity? And I get a lot of women who actually sent me this video and was like, you talk all this mess about single motherhood. King had a daddy and he still is turning out messed up. Well, he's still a kid. He's only 18. There's still time. So it's not the same. I can understand, but it's not the same. But I'm telling y'all now, the link is under this video. The link is over this video. The link is in the shop button under this video also. And the link is also pinned in the top of this chat and in the chat. Buy this card game and play this card game with your children. See, I'm about helping children. I'm here. I'm looking to bring families together. So I made this card game for you and your children, you and the man you're dating, so you can get a better understanding of who is in front of you, no matter if it's your mama, your daddy, your auntie, or a dating prospect. Hit the like button and buy this card game. It will change your life. My father was very involved, and he came to my school, not mama. Shoot, I was scared. Huh? Shoot, I was scared. Scared of what, Kana?
Okay, so you were raised with your father, but he wasn't emotionally there, so you still ended up on a stripper pole.
Me and this guy, we're going to have a conversation in the next couple of days because I did this video about him and he hit me up and we're going to have a conversation about him. But do y'all hear what he just said? And this is the same thing that T.I. apparently is doing to King, dismissing his reality. You on a stripper pole because you got daddy and mama. You ungrateful. The same thing y'all feel about this young man.
TV show, man, that got people confused because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay attention to you at all? He was always like working and busy.
T.I. has always been working and busy also. Same thing, same reality. Daughter, son, same reality, y'all.
I'm a dancer, but I started doing this like later in my life.
Okay, so you were raised with your father, but he wasn't emotionally there, so you still ended up on a stripper pole. But let me ask you a question. Was your father paying for the bills and making sure the lights is on and providing food in the house and stuff like that?
My mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, so she did the grocery shopping.
Exactly. You lived in a traditional home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still ended up on a stripper pole because the way you perceive things, you don't know how to accept a father's love.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The fact that your mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. One, you need to be grateful. You still was a step ahead of most Americans.
Okay, but you don't...
No, but listen, and you still ended
Just like what they did with King. You see how he interrupted her? Right here. Listen to this.
have that choice. One, you need to be grateful.
You need to be grateful, King. You need to be grateful. You grew up in a city. So you need to be grateful. See, this is all that is told to a lot of these young people. You need to be grateful. You're ungrateful.
Still was a step ahead of most Americans.
So people be traumatized as I don't know what. And when they come out and say, hey, you hurt me, or my parent hurt me, or I was neglected, all Black people want to tell that person is, no, you weren't. You're ungrateful. It's the dumbest mess in the world. This is the reason why Black people are so screwed up. Hey, I need help. No, you don't. You're ungrateful. Hey, I'm traumatized. No, you aren't. You're ungrateful. It's sad how dysfunctional we are as people.
Okay, but you don't...
No, but listen, and you still...
You see that? You see that? He don't even let the damn woman talk. Watch.
Step ahead of most Americans.
Okay, but you don't...
No, but listen.
This woman is literally talking about her childhood trauma. And he's like, well, listen. But the same thing happened over here.
Okay.
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So man, go.
In your ear.
Same thing. This young man is talking. Everybody just talk. Like, let the man talk.
Know what you talking
I
about?
got in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roaches.
I know my son.
They want to talk about roaches. The same thing.
Mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Cause guess what? My mom.
Hold on, I'm gonna put this on the big screen. Y'all need to see this all together. I need y'all to read what I said right here.
The fact that your mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home.
Read what is said in the red.
Mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice.
He's saying, I didn't have a dad growing up. Therefore, I'm up here projecting my pain onto this young woman that happens to be a stripper. Is disregarding her feelings. Exactly. Yes. Yes, Lori. He's invalidating her feelings. Thank you for saying that. And I'm not mad at these little YouTuber dudes because they don't have no children. They don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't know what the hell they talking about. They just want to make YouTube videos and go viral. They don't see. The thing about it is, the thing that gets on my nerves about these little YouTuber dudes is all they want to do is say some cool stuff in order to go viral. But they don't realize that these young men and these young women are actually going through something in real time. And all you want to do is get some views and go viral. He's literally invalidating her feelings.
Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that.
Your mom ain't got nothing to do with this, sir.
Choice. One, you need to be grateful. You still was a step ahead of most Americans.
Okay, but you don't.
No.
My son,
To make him look better, he said that he know not true.
think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmama.
It's the same thing, y'all. It's the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna let it play through it now. And she turns around and gets up and leaves because he wants to be smart.
Mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Cause guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. One, you need to be grateful. You still was a step ahead of most Americans.
Okay, but you don't.
No, but listen, and you still ended up on a stripper pole. So this is what I'm saying. You have to take.
She's like, oh my God, I can't believe he said something that stupid.
So this is what I'm saying. You have to take accountability.
Yo, I'm just going to say this. These podcasters.
Okay, so I would say what hurt me would be like, I'm honestly like my mom being like with Tip all the time.
Damn. So now we're about to talk about more childhood trauma because we got to look at the entire family dynamic, right? We can't just sit here and look at King and T.I. We got to find out what is going on with the family itself, right? Hit a like button, hit a like button, hit a like button. We about to go down a really deep rabbit hole and share this video with somebody that can use this information.
Even now and today, like that's how it is.
So I met my stepdaughter at 8.
Okay.
I'm the same way. I want my girl to be everywhere with me. I didn't even take into account how that might make her feel.
Right.
I'll tell you later, Pops. I'll tell you later.
So right here, I wanted to add this part. I hope I don't get copyrighted, but I wanted to show y'all that T.I. not only was present, but was physically present also, picking up his kids, wrestling with his kids, hugging his kids. So this part right here is very, very important. I'm not against T.I. Okay. I wanted to specifically show this part right here to show y'all that not only was T.I. around, T.I. was like physically loving. He wasn't no standoffish, I don't hug my kids. He picked them up, he wrestled with them. I watched the show. He was very physically available. But none of that matters if your child says you weren't. So it's two sides. Just like Letitia said, two things can be true at the same time. I agree. So watch this.
Listen to him. If he tells you something, he's lying.
Is he? You know, King girlfriend, send him a letter. What? I love you, King. Something.
See, this is a beautiful expression of love for your kids when you pick them up, wrestle with them, and play with them.
And if you break my heart, I'm gonna break your balls.
So I just wanted to show y'all that I am not against T.I. because, like I said in the beginning, T.I. overall is a better father than I was because I broke up my family. It takes a lot, especially for a man, to actually stay with a woman. Sorry, because y'all are annoying as hell for 20 some years. It's a lot. It's a lot. He did it, still doing it. And it takes a lot for a woman because women love to just leave their husbands and so they can get a check. So it takes a lot for Tiny to not divorce T.I. for all the stuff that T.I. did, and they still continue to be a family. So shout out to both of them. I am not dumping on T.I. I'm not dumping on Tiny. I'm just letting T.I. and Tiny know that there is another dimension of parenthood that you may not have tapped into yet. That is all I'm saying. T.I. is a better father than me.
My parents, I ain't never seen them. I ain't never seen my parents. Like, these folks busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work. They had me, and they said, I got to get to the work. Go to your grandma's house, and whatever, and my grandma let me do whatever I want to do. If I want to go over their house, and I want to go to their house, and I want to go to their house, and that's where I was at. In some poor soul clothes, because my mom ain't even pet me no more. Bad. Y'all was at home with y'all mamas and daddies watching movies. I say it to this day. You go read.
So as you can see, this is Zonique. As you can see, Zonique is going through some things also, which validates or verifies that King is not just some spoiled brat that just wants to act up. Because even though you see this,
I made her feel.
All right. I'll tell you later, Pops. I'll tell you later.
Pops, don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him.
If he tells you something, he's
which is
lying.
great.
Busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work.
And it's true. It's true, y'all. Dad had to put in the work. Dad had to go. Dad had to leave. Dad had to do what he had to do. But at the end of the day, you got to look at the child's experience of you, even if you did the right thing. See, the thing about it is sometimes our children simply want an apology. I apologize to my daughters, both of them, for breaking up our family. And it was important for that apology to happen. Because the bad parent is the closed-minded parent. That's the bad parent. The bad parent is a closed-minded person, parent. The bad parent is a parent that does not want to see the perspective of their child. You could have been the best parent in the world. If you cannot see flaws, missteps, spots where you messed up at, and you refuse to acknowledge those things, that's the word. If you refuse to acknowledge that you've messed up, when you messed up, acknowledge that you were not a perfect parent. Acknowledge that when your child was 7, you did this and you didn't know you did it. You are now officially a bad parent. Yes, they're saying their grandmother raised them. The older kids were raised by the grandparents, the grandmother, mainly because, of course, you know, T.I. was grinding. At some point, T.I. was in prison. Do y'all know T.I. was in prison for a year? He did a year and a day. He was in prison for a year. It was a lot of times that T.I. was on tour. And guess where Tiny was? Right by his side.
Busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work. They had me, and they said, I got to get to the work. Go to your grandma's house, and whatever, and my grandma let me do whatever I want to do. If I want to go over their house, and if I want to go to their house, and I want to go to their house, and that's where I was at. In some poor soul clothes, because my mom ain't even pat me no more. Bad. Y'all was at home with y'all mamas and daddies watching movies. I say it to this day. You go read my motherfucking diary, I'm crying for my mama every day. But my mama was gone, baby. She was getting to the money.
So that shows you that there was an issue. There was a huge issue. And damn, let me do this. Hold on, y'all. I wanted to I want y'all to see the whole video that I did with the stripper and the guy. I gotta find it. Hold on a second. So everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And there's something else I want to show you that is hurtful. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all ready for this video, because this is going to be a emotional video. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all are ready to watch this next video that has a lot to do with King, because this is a possibility where this could be a future conversation that King has. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this next video, because it's a very important video. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all ready for this next video. Because this next video, y'all probably have seen it before, but in this context, you'll see how heartbreaking it is. So hold on 1 second. I'm about to get the video sent to my phone. So give me 10 seconds. I'm about to show you a very heartbreaking video that may be King in the future. We about to show King in the future. We about to go in the future when King is 38 years old, and I'm about to show you how King is going to feel when he's 38 years old. We about to go into the future real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second. Do not leave. Give me a second. Give me a second. Do not leave. Just give me a second. Share this video right now. Like the video right now. Share this video right now. Like the video right now. The video is loading. Give me 30 more seconds. Okay, here we go. This is King in 10 years.
Oh, this real good. Like this this in my head, my whole life, in my head. The I go through.
In my head. Do y'all see that? In my head, not in your head, in my head. And that's the thing that T.I. is not able to see, because he's in his head. But what young King is saying, in my head, I'm going through something in my head. Y'all got to wake up. Y'all got to see things from another person's perspective, y'all. This is so important right here.
In my head, my whole life, in my head.
Do y'all hear this man? This is going to be king in the next 10 years if they don't listen to this boy.
In my head, my whole life, in my head, the I go through.
Y'all got to understand what this man is saying right here without even saying anything. He's saying it without even saying a lot of words.
It's in my head, my whole life, in my head, the I go through.
That's king in the next 10 to 15 years. It's in my head, not your head. You can sit here and think all you want to. I was a great father. I did this. Y'all, you have a silver spoon in your mouth. You lived in a mansion. In my head, I didn't. I lived with my grandmother. In my head, I grew up under my grandmother. In my head, you're not even my parents. In my head, you are not my parent. In my head, you are my sibling. In my head, I don't view you as my father. In my head, I view you as my big brother. I'm going to say it one more time. In my head, I don't view you as a father. In my head, I don't view you, Tiny, as my mother. In my head, I view you as my siblings. That's why right here, he's able to act up like this.
I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
But they ain't gonna tell you everything.
But I'm a.
I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about his.
I know you though.
They going back and forth like siblings, y'all. I know you. I know you. I know you. That's not how you talk to your father. He does not view T.I. as his father because he wasn't there in his mind. In my head, remember, in my head, in my head. Remember that.
Nobody got me no help. I learned about that when I got older.
Hey.
This part.
Like this, this in my head, my whole life, in my head.
It's a different perspective, y'all. It's a different perspective. In King's head, you ain't my daddy. In King's head, you ain't my mama. In King's head, you are my siblings. That's how he feels. That's why he's able to act up like this.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that?
That's sibling rivalry. That is sibling rivalry. This isn't parent-child.
Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. Wait.
See? Why you letting him play with me like that? Because he views T.I. as his big brother.
You are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. What is she talking about?
Look at this. When the last time you seen a boy attack his daddy? When was the last time you see a son attack his daddy? Never. Because he isn't attacking his daddy. He's attacking his sibling.
I go through.
Mama D, go hug your child. He hurt. I'm hurt. You hurt.
Do y'all see the same level of aggression? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what, y'all? Guess what? Scrap and his mom, it's the same dynamic. Little Scrappy looks at his mom like a sibling because she acts like his sibling. Am I right or wrong? Does Mama D act like Little Scrappy's sibling and not his mama? Yes or no? Does Mama D act like Little Scrappy's sibling and not his mama? Yes or no? Look at this level of aggression right here that he has toward his sibling, not his mama, to his sibling. Watch this.
Mama D, go hug your child. He hurt. I'm hurt.
You hurt? Hold on, you hurt?
He hurt.
Go blame that on your mama.
You see that? That's sibling aggression, not parent aggression. You have to understand what is actually happening in your family dynamic. My daughters do not view me as their sibling. My daughters view me as their daddy. And this is not going against T.I. This is not trying to make T.I. look bad. This is just giving you an understanding that the family dynamic is different. Hold on, y'all. Something didn't go right. Oh, here it is right here. Let's go back to this video.
Issue.
All right, so I'm going to let this whole video play because I want y'all to see what I say at the end. So I'm going to let the whole video play, and then we're going to come back.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay attention to you at all? He was always like working and busy. I'm a dancer, but I started doing this like later in my life.
Hit the like button, hit the like button, share this video, hit the like button, hit the like button, share this video,
Okay, so you were raised with your father, but he wasn't emotionally there, so you still ended up on a stripper pole. But let me ask you a question. Was your father paying for the bills and making sure the lights is on and providing food in the house and stuff like that?
My mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, so she did the grocery shopping.
Exactly. You lived in a traditional home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you still ended up on a stripper pole because the way you perceive things, you don't know how to accept a father's love.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The fact that your mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice. One, you need to be grateful. You still was a step ahead of most Americans.
Okay, but you don't...
No, but listen, and you still ended up on a stripper pole. So this is what I'm saying. You have to take... So this...
Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, share this video.
This is what I'm saying. You have to take accountability.
Yo, I'm just going to say this. These podcasters, even though y'all can say I'm one of them, but I'm not, really get on my nerves. And this is the reason why. Here's the answer for all of you men who are confused on what to do on the first date and where to take her. A woman, no matter who she is, will be totally okay with going to a coffee date. But the problem is, you men are missing a key component.
Hey, how about we meet up at a coffee shop and play this fun dating card game? We'll have fun and see if we're compatible all at the same time.
Ooh, what's the name of the game?
It's called Deeper Discussions.
I'm down.
Okay, Meet You at 6, a dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
It's a battle of who's right. It's like no matter what the woman says, it's the quest to hold her accountable. Accountability, accountability. If I hear accountability one more time, I understand what the man is saying, and he is actually right. But that's not even the point. And you can't see the point. You know why? The same thing I said about T.I., right? The same thing I said about T.I. T.I. is not wrong in what he was saying, but two people can be right at the same time. Let's keep going. Because you don't have kids. And I don't know the guy, but if he had kids, I'm quite sure he would not have this way of thinking. See, the thing about it is, this young lady has childhood trauma and she had both parents. Sometimes when you have a father and he's working, he's paying all the bills, which is awesome. But just like T.I., if you don't come home and spend time with your children, if you don't go to the PTA meetings every now and then, if you don't sit down with your kids when they have a bad day, as the father, not as the mother, as the father, you literally can be traumatizing your children. Being a father is not just paying bills. I'll say that again. Fatherhood is not paying bills. Fatherhood is fatherhood. See, there's one thing about being a provider, going to work, all that stuff, that's nice. But at the same time, being a husband and being a father is another job in itself. And you cannot turn around and say, well, I pay all the bills. I do this, I do that. And think your wife and your children are going to be happy with you if you're only paying the bills. That's not how life works. See, the thing about it is, I understand how women feel when they make their videos about all these dudes on these podcasts talking all this mess about women. I understand and feel their pain because I feel the same way. And to a certain degree, I'm a podcaster myself.
Deeper Discussion card game is meant to give you and other players deep understanding of how we all deal with relationship.
Just like right here, y'all.
Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
When you brought up daddy issues.
And then when Zonique said this, here it is right here.
With Tip all the time.
Damn.
Well, even now and today, like that's how it is.
So I met my stepdaughter at 8.
Okay.
I'm the same way. I want my girl to be everywhere with me. I didn't even take into account how that might make her feel.
All right. I'll tell you later, Pops. I'll tell you later.
Pops, don't listen to him.
Don't listen to him.
If he tell you something.
I love him, and if you break your balls.
My parents, I ain't never seen them. I ain't never seen my parents. Like, these folks busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work. They had me, and they said, I got to get to the work. Go to your grandma's house, and whatever, and my grandma let me do whatever I want. They busy. I
break your balls.
My parents,
Hold on one second, y'all. All right, here we go. Know how it feels to be in a household where children are running around acting up, or children are running around wanting their daddy, and dad is just walking around as a robot. I did my job already. I paid the bills. So I am going to go in a closet and go to sleep until it's time for me to go to work the next day. That's not how it works. I was an active father. Let me tell you something. I worked 2 jobs, not through the whole marriage. And I also helped my kids with their homework every night. Every night, I was in charge of giving my kids multiple sex talks, because a 12-year-old sex talk is totally different than a 17-year-old sex talk. So I did a sex talk with my kids, depending on their ages, and they were 2 totally different ages. So I had to talk to one kid one way, and I had to talk to another daughter another way. When my kids were little, we played this game called Hooked on Phonics. Some people know what that is, some people don't. I played with my kids on a normal basis. My ex-wife, we sat around looking at TV, watching our kids wrestle and run around the house. It wasn't just I'm at work and leave me alone. No, I experienced fatherhood. I experienced being a husband. I did not come home from work saying, leave me alone. I just did my job. I pay the bills. Leave me alone. No, taught them how to ride a bike, taught them how to drive a car. The hundreds of hours of driving around in an empty parking lot with each one of my daughters while they're running over curves and everything, because that is a part of fatherhood. Teach your kids how to drive a car. Teach your kids how to ride a bike. Going to your kids' school when there's a problem. I've been to every last one of my kids' schools, both of them, whether it's elementary school, middle school, high school. You know why? Because that is what fatherhood is. It's not just paying some freaking bills. And to see this woman in this video looking for some type of acknowledgement or empathy from the host and get zero is disgusting. But I can't get mad at him. This dude ain't got no kids. He don't know what fatherhood actually looks like. They're just talking points. They're just talking points. They're just talking points. You know, you get a podcast, you get a whole bunch of strippers on the show, and then you sit around, oh, you're not accountable. You're a 304. You don't know what marriage looks like. They get a whole bunch of young, broken strippers or whatever stars, you know what I'm talking about, on their platform and just berate them all day. But like I said, he is right, but it's not about being right. At some point, as a man, you got to know when to read the room. I understand you're trying to make a clip. You're trying to go viral. I get it. It's all about money. But at the end of the day, these are still people. I don't care if the woman is a stripper. She's still a person. I don't care what she does. She's still a person. And if she got on there arguing, sounding crazy, then I would be totally with you. Kick her off or whatever. But this woman is being vulnerable and talking to you about how she experienced her dad. And the first thing you wanted to do is tell her how she should experience her dad. And that is not only crazy, but it's irresponsible. She's still a person. Any woman on your podcast or any of y'all podcasts, if she brings up her father and talks about how he wasn't there for her, you do not turn around and say, well, he was there for you. What is wrong with you? You're the problem. No, her dad was the problem. See, emotionally unavailable men think all they have to do is pay bills and don't talk to nobody. Don't hug nobody. Don't spend time with nobody. I was there.
I ain't never seen my parents. Like, these folks busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work. They had me, and they said, I got to get to the work. Go to your grandma's house, and whatever. And my grandma let me do whatever I want to do. If I want to go over their house, and I want to go to their house, and I want to go to their house, and that's where I was at. In some poor soul clothes, because my mom ain't even pat me no more. Bad. Y'all was at home with y'all mamas and daddies.
Important. My kids are grown. My daughters easily tell me what I did right when they was little and what I did wrong when they was little. And that is a thing that a lot of you podcasters don't have. You don't have the insight of the other side, which is the child. All you got to say is, if the father was there, he paid the bills, you're ungrateful. That is irresponsible, sir. This woman most likely was not acknowledged at all by her dad through her entire childhood. And because of that, she was traumatized. And now she's on a stripper pole seeking acknowledgement over and over and over and over and over and over again from every man that actually comes to her environment. And then goes on a podcast and doesn't get acknowledged either. See, when a young girl doesn't get acknowledgement from a man that is walking around, when King doesn't get acknowledgement from his father around the house, not even seeing her, not hearing her, guess what happens? She grows up seeking acknowledgement from other men. When a young boy has to be over his grandma's house until they film, they show, he looks for acknowledgement from social media. Same thing. And sometimes the acknowledgement itself turns into a drug. So she needs acknowledgement from that man, from that man, from this man, from that man. And it never stops. And now she's like an acknowledgement junkie. She needs acknowledgement over and over again. And for you to say this woman is wrong when she experienced her life and you're telling her what she went through, what she experienced, what she seen wasn't true, that has to be the most dismissive shit that I've ever seen.
Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
When you brought up daddy issues, what if your dad was present in your life as a kid, but like he didn't pay attention to you at all? He was always like working and busy. I'm a dancer, but I started doing this like later in my life.
Okay, so you were raised with your father, but he wasn't emotionally there, so you still ended up on a stripper pole. But let me ask you a question. Was your father paying for the bills and making sure the lights is on and providing food in the house and stuff like that?
My mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, so she did the grocery shopping.
Exactly. You lived in a traditional home, right? And you still ended up on a stripper pole because the way you perceive things, you don't know how to accept a father's love.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The fact that your mom even had the ability to be a stay-at-home mom is the fact that I know that your father was a good father. Because guess what? My mom didn't have that choice.
Tell a woman that what you went through didn't happen and you are ungrateful for how you felt is crazy. But I'm going to stop right here because when it comes to parenting, I can go on for hours. I'm going on for hours in this video. So the number one visual that I want y'all to leave with today before we go, because I want to have y'all up to see if anybody wants to come up. So I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link right now if anybody wants to come up. So if anybody wants to come up, hit the link. If anybody wants to come up, hit the link. On TikTok, if anybody wants to come up, hit the little plus sign too. If anybody wants to come up, hit the link. But this is the number one visual that I want y'all to have in your heads when you're talking to your children.
This in my head, my whole life, in my head, the whole life, in my head, the I go in my head, my whole life, 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 my whole life, in my head, the in my head, my whole life, real good, like this this in my head, my whole life.
Because that's the thing that y'all have to understand when it comes to your children. Your children has a different way of seeing life in their head. In their head. It's not about you. It's not about how you see things. It's about how they see things. Hey, how you doing? Hello?
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
All right, hold on. Let me turn this up. All right, go ahead. Say it again.
I said, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. So my thoughts are a little bit biased because I was actually raised by my grandparents as a child, as like King. I don't see that as an excuse for disrespect towards your parents, right? My parents were not, you know, I knew who they were. They came around, not often, but they were there. But, you know, being raised by my grandparents, disrespect just wouldn't be tolerated. And to King, the issue with King and T.I. and Tiny, I haven't followed them in recent years, but back when the show used to be on, I don't know if anyone remembers, but King was always one of the children that had some behavioral issues that were obvious on the screen.
He got a lot of attention too.
He did get a lot of attention and he had behavioral issues, but I think that, you know, there's some psychological things that's amiss with him. And they were then, and I think they still are now. And that's what I believe everybody is overlooking. I don't necessarily blame it on bad parenting, whether it's parenting from T.I. and Tiny or parenting from the grandparent.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just, my whole thing is, because like I said, I've said multiple times on this stream that T.I. is a better father than me. because I left my marriage. I broke up my family, right? Even though me and my kids have a great relationship, I was always in their faces. I was always a father, but I have to look at T.I. as a way better father than me because he stayed. He raised all his children under the, somewhat under the same household. You feel me? And one other thing, everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can hear this young lady talking. Everybody on YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this young lady talking. I want to make sure that y'all can hear her before we keep going. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure they can hear me. I want to make sure I'm doing the controls right. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, so y'all can hear. All right, so go ahead. Go ahead. You there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. So, yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. I just think that sometimes we, in this King and T.I. situation, I've seen several lives and listened to, a lot of different conversations. And I think for the most part, a lot of people, to me, seem to be making excuses for bad behavior. And that's just what I see with this situation.
So one other thing I wanna ask you, since you watched the show, do you think when Major came, all the attention went to Major and King literally disappeared from the face of the earth? In your opinion?
Well, speaking on, we're talking about a produced television show, right? That's partially scripted. So I'm sure there were tons of. I'm sorry?
You think the kids' reactions and stuff like that was scripted?
I don't think the kids' reactions was scripted, but as I was saying, I think that there are several of hours of video that was shot that we weren't necessarily privy to. Okay. So, maybe as far as the production goes, the production could have leaned more towards showing more of Major, right, as opposed to King. But again, a lot of that could have been from King's behavioral issues. T.I. and Tiny, they're not going to showcasing or broadcasting the show with their son, exuding all this negative behavior. So let's just show Major because, he's a sweet kid and he's got a better, he's easier for the eye as far as television is concerned. But as far as the daily household dynamic, I can't say that that's necessarily the case.
You're right. You're right, because his looks also can be a bearing on them being on TV. So I agree with you. It's a possibility that because Major was more pleasing to the eye as a cute little kid, that could have been a part of the trauma also. I'm glad you brought it up. You're so right, because as kids, like, Major was a cuter little kid than King. So I didn't even think about that part. He was more made for TV. Damn. But go ahead. And the other person that's on here, I can't read your name. Either one of y'all.
Hey, Deeper.
Well, it's Mr. Let Go. Deeper Discussions is my card game, and they won't change the freaking name back. My name is not Deeper.
But I was just really funny.
They won't change my name back. I tried to do the TikTok shop, and Deeper Discussions is my card game, and now my name is Deeper. I'm like, yo, what the hell? But go ahead.
No, I'm just messing with you. All right, so here's the thing, right? I can't discuss parenting from the American point of view because I'm actually here based in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So you made a point where you're saying you've been what, separated, or you've messed up a marriage or a home?
Yeah, I divorced.
Right. So you messing up a marriage. I wouldn't necessarily agree with you to say because you messed up a marriage that means you're a bad parent.
No, he's just a better parent than me. I'm not a bad parent. He's just a better parent than me. Go ahead.
I'm not sure. Well, you may have your reasons for saying so, but I'm not 100% sure I would agree.
Okay.
Because again, he may have a few mental issues going on. So we're not going to take away from that. So that might be one case. You might have a few mental issues going on. The second point is, I think it also boils down to parenting. Because the parents have a role to play and the kids have a role to play.
Yeah.
Now, the older folks will say to you, when you're raising kids, your kids aren't your best friends. And I agree with you. Because your duty as parent is to raise your kids in the best way possible. One of the ways to do it is some of the opportunities that were given to you when you were a kid, you try to give it to your kids. The lifestyle that you used to live as a kid, maybe it wasn't the best, so you try to give the best lifestyle to your kid. So that's your way of paying it forward to the newer generation, is to make life better for them. T.I. and King's situation is one in which it's a disrespectful type of relationship. You're not supposed to talk to your dad in that type of manner.
Do you know why?
He does it publicly.
Do you know why though?
In private. I think it happened because of the foundation that was built from day one. They have a brother and son. Sorry, they have a brother type of relation, brotherly type of relationship.
That's it. I don't think King views T.I. as his dad. I think he views T.I. as like how Future views Kodak Black.
There you go, one of the boys.
Future is bigger than Kodak Black, but Kodak Black is like, yo, I'm an up and coming whatever, so get out the way.
Right.
Go ahead.
So that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
Is it too late to repair the relationship between father and son at this stage in the game?
I think it's never too late, because the thing about it is he's only 18, right? And he still has like 60 more years of his life to live. You feel me? And so overall, tomorrow can be totally different. If T.I. were to wake up and realize that this is bigger than just I'm your daddy, you need to listen to me, and say, okay, I need to listen to my son.
Okay, so then in that case, as Michelle rightly said in the chat, the first place we need to start is not by putting our business on a podcast. It's by actually making a decision that we're going to go to therapy. Not just for King and T.I. only. Maybe the entire family could go.
Yeah.
Because it could be a very good learning lesson for them as well.
Yeah. Totally agree.
That's for me. Yeah, so that's me and my point. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so I agree with both of y'all, because overall, there's more to be done, and therapy has to be a part of this. And sadly, T.I. seems like one of those dudes that is just like, I'm just going to suffer in silence. I'm just going to let the things fall as they may. And, you know, because a lot of the times, I want to say this as a husband and as a father, sometimes as men, we don't think anybody is ever going to be there for us. It's like we are at the top of the food chain, and we just got to lead and run everything the way we know best. And there's nobody to cry to. There's nobody to complain to. There's nobody to get advice from. We're just at the top of the world, looking down, taking care of everybody. But as a man, there is always somebody here to help. I'm here to help. If any of you males or females are here and you're like, yo, I want to talk to Mr. Let Go, I'll drop the link to my if you want to do a one-on-one with me, it's under this video. It's just under this video. But it's actually mrletgo.com, mrletgo.com /book now. mrletgo.com /book now. And then you could do a one-on-one with me. Because the thing about it is, I have had 2 different coaches, and one of the coaches was younger than me. So we all need coaching, we all need therapy, we all need help. So if you think you're at the top, whether you're a mother or whether you're a father, and you ain't got nobody to talk to, you could talk to me. You could talk to a therapist. You could talk to anybody, but there's always somebody that you can talk to. Don't think you're at the top of the totem pole and nobody's there for you, because that's a lie. But do y'all have anything else to say or any other thoughts?
I mean, I agree with you 100%. Everything that you said just now is correct. When, we typically feel that way, that everything is left on our shoulders. We have to be in charge. We can't ever let our guards down. We have to take care of the family. We have to be this pillar of strength. So yeah, you're totally right. So, I mean, the fact that you're able to put it out there to say, you know what, guys, and this goes especially for some of the men, if you feel like you can't manage, the world is against you, it's too much, you can actually reach out to me and we can have this discussion one-on-one, because it's a safe place and a safe space. Yeah. So I totally agree with you. Because a lot of the times we don't have those opportunities presented to us. In case of the ladies, maybe they do, but for the guys, it's not so commonplace. So I actually commend you for doing that. We need to have more of those discussions had, especially amongst our people. Yeah. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I do have one more thing to add. I think that the fact that a lot of their lives are broadcast on social media and the reality television, you have to think from the perspective of someone's always watching in judgment.
Yeah.
So if me and one of my children were sitting down having a personal conversation, right, just one-on-one, then we're both allowed the space to be vulnerable with one another, right? So you have more of an honest discussion. But when you're speaking on a platform where you know that people are watching you with judgment, right? Then ego steps in on both sides, on the part of the child and the parent. So you got ego stepping in. You're not being 100% vulnerable and honest about, how you feel. So I would like to be hopeful that they can repair their relationship. But the only way, in my opinion, that it ever has any hope of being repaired, be in a private setting and not so much on social media or some sort of a televised platform, because that doesn't open either of them up to vulnerability that they're going to need to be able to repair it.
I agree. And somebody sent me shout out to Kana. She just sent me this video. So let's play this video. This is about King also.
Look at Tip.
All right, so I don't know what this is. Kana just sent this to me, and it's a little low. So hopefully y'all can hear it. So here we go.
Look at Tip.
Going on, stressed out about different things about this show, and I have people around me that's trying to tell me what to do, when to do, and how to do. All right. I know you. I want to make a name for myself.
Look at Tip.
Going on, stressed out about different things about.
So I actually have some of this in my notes. We're going to look at the rest of it. But this is what I said in my notes. Let me see if I can find it. Now, okay. Now, in T.I.'s defense, King seems to have gotten a lot of T.I.'s attention and when they were on the show. Or was it Major who got more attention? Could it be that King was the baby, but then here comes Major taking over the role? And here's the thing. On top of that, King was sent back to his grandmama's house when the filming was over. And Major stayed home. And King may feel neglected, So where he feels the need to act, he feels the need to act out. So this is important right here. He's acting out, and this is just my opinion. I want y'all to listen to this right here. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. He feels the need to act out, not for attention, but the opposite, to show the other 6 people in his family that he doesn't need them. I want y'all to think about that. What if King is acting out, not for attention, but to show everybody else in his family how different he is from them and how much he doesn't need them? See, he may be looking at this as a way to use social media and show the world that he doesn't need anybody. And here's a theory. King may see T.I. and Tiny, like I said earlier, this is in my notes, I'm just reading my notes, as his siblings and not his parents. Sometimes children act out because they crave attention, but simple attention isn't what children need. They need presence. And if a child does not get the presence that they require as a child, they end up growing into this attachment style type of person that is not, I talk about attachment style, right? Not secure, which is a good one, not avoidant, not anxious, but disorganized. And in my opinion, just in my opinion, because I'm not a therapist or anything, in my opinion, King has a disorganized attachment style. He wants to show the world how much he doesn't need anybody. But at the same time, he needs the world to show that he doesn't need anybody, which means he needs the world and turn around and tells the world that he doesn't need the world, but he needs the world to tell the world that. So
can I chime in?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go back to your earlier point. Future, and you said Kodak Black?
Yes.
So Future is the biggest star. Kodak Black is on the up and coming, correct?
Yeah.
So you have T.I. and you have King. T.I. would be Future, King would be Kodak Black, correct?
And King acts like Kodak Black.
So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the fact that, not the fact, we're gonna take the assumption that King may have some mental issues going on. Mm-hmm. So let's take that out of the equation. Okay. So what we're left with is a situation where you have this crazy dysfunctional relationship between a father and a son. We have seen that because it's displayed publicly. So what happens in the private, we don't know about. What happens publicly is what we're able to see. So here's where it gets tricky now. If you're saying to yourself, I don't need these people in my family, I am Kodak Black, I'm on the up and coming because Future is at this pinnacle of success, and I need to replace him. For me to do that, I can use the world, and I can use social media to show everyone that, hey, I really don't need you guys. Yeah. But at the same time, isn't it a kind of weird way to stay relevant? Because that's what you're using social media to do, to stay relevant.
That's what I'm saying. You try to show the world that you don't need them, but at the same time, you need the world to show the world that you don't need them.
But that's crazy, though. That's exactly what I'm doing. So if you're saying that he's not acting out because he's paranoid or he's crazy or he got these issues going on, he's really just out here wilding because, you know what, Daddy, I'm my own man now. Yeah. You can go do what you want to do. I don't need you. I don't need mom. I don't need my sisters and brothers. Yeah. I am the new star in the family. So I'm going to just wild out because I can stay relevant without you.
So
that to me is just crazy.
So let's go a little farther in this video.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you don't.
I'm gonna just be real. Like a lot of this, what's going on with King, is fodder for, just talking shit. A lot of it is for a lot of people, but for me, this is a personal thing, man. It really hits home to me because King, like most people his age, is at the most important moment, the most important time in his life. This period in life, especially for young.
And I'm gonna say this is the second most important period of his life. The most important time of a child's life is between the age of 0 to the age of 7. That is when their neurons are being first built. Being between 16 and 18 is the second most important time of a child's life.
Men, for young black men specifically, is so important because this is where you have to grasp the difference between fault and responsibility. For so long, parents carry the fault and the responsibility of their children's well-being, their emotional well-being, their financial well-being, all of the things that go into who that child is. But at a certain point, there is a transference of fault and or responsibility. And while what King is thinking and feeling and going through right now, it may be the direct fault of his parents. It may be directly related to the way his parents, parented him.
I'm disagreeing with him on him. This is my first time seeing this video because Kanal sent this to me. I don't agree with him because there is no fault. I've said at least 6 different times on this show, 2 people can be right at the same time. It's not anybody's fault. It's everybody's responsibility. It's King's responsibility to honor his parents, and it's T.I. and Tiny's responsibility to acknowledge their children. There is no fault. There is responsibility. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree.
It could be their fault. Ultimately, his happiness, his well-being, his financial well-being, his emotional well-being, all of that is his responsibility. And as a young person, man, I know that's a hard pill to swallow, especially a young man or a young woman that has been, done wrong, where you can clearly issue out the fault for whatever you're going through on the people that were supposed to be there to love you, protect you, guide you, and lead you. And the saddest thing about this,
anybody that looks at anybody else's fault as something, that person is becoming a victim. And a male, women love to be victims, but when you see a male as a victim, that's terrible.
Usually the person that is supposed to accept responsibility is the last one to do it. I mean, this is something that took me.
So let's thank you, Tony. I want y'all to think about this, what he just said. He said the last person to admit fault or admit responsibility in a situation is the person that loses. So who is not admitting fault or responsibility in this situation between King and T.I., in y'all's opinion? Do you think T.I. is not admitting his fault in this, or is it King not admitting his fault in this? What do y'all think?
I don't think either of them are taking responsibility or admitting fault. And I just have one more thing to add, and this is a question for you. How much of T.I.'s life do you think he actually has control over, his own personal life? Being in the entertainment industry, you have managers, you have contracts.
I personally don't think T.I. is under control of anything. I think T.I. Even listen to Tip versus T.I., he literally if you remember Tip versus T.I., he literally in his music like talked about how they want him to do this, and T.I. is like, no, I'm not doing this. You either going to do it or it ain't gonna come out. And I think that's actually T.I.'s personality. So I think T.I., unlike a lot of other artists, had a lot of control over what they were doing. And that's my opinion. I'm just going by everything, because T.I. is one of my favorite rappers. So I've always paid attention to virtually everything that T.I. said and did. Shout out to T.I. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I agree 100%. I think he's a great artist. I enjoy his work. But with that being said, I also think that there is a lot of aspects of his life that he doesn't have control over in order to continue to bring in the income and the residuals that he wants to bring in. Okay. There may be some things that he draws the line on and he's like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But I can almost guarantee you that he's done things and taken place and taken part in some things that he didn't necessarily want to do. But you have to keep the checks rolling in to sustain the lifestyle that you created for your family. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, if there's things in your life that you're doing that you don't necessarily agree with and can't control, then how do we put the expectation on him that he can take these children and guide them in a way of controlling, certain situations within his own household?
Well, let me answer that. I have control of my whole family. I have small amount of control over my ex-wife. Like, everybody operates within unison with each other. Even though my ex-wife is remarried to somebody else, there is a certain amount of expectation out of her and me, at not even parenting, as far as how we operate out in the world, because everybody still runs under my system. So when there's a system in place, the system makes you safe enough to continually follow the system. So it's not control, but it's a systematic operation. So I don't control, but the system controls all of us, if that makes any sense.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, but I think that's more or less based on, one of two things: respect or fear, right? Fear of repercussion and just respect for, I have respect for my dad because my dad is a man of his word. When he says something, he's a man of his word, right? So because of that, there's a natural respect that's built there. I don't think that is the situation with King and T.I. And again, I go back to the earlier point that I made. I think that King has had an obvious some mental issues that's been obvious from childhood. I don't think it was ever addressed. And now that he's an adult, I think everybody is automatically expecting him to behave in the way of a responsible adult. Yeah. And I just don't think that guidance has ever been implemented or some sort of a mental intervention has happened to address the real issues that he's always had.
Yeah. I can understand that. So what do y'all think T.I. should do? I don't like the word should, but what would it behoove T.I. to do? And what would it behoove King to do, in y'all's opinion?
Well, as a parent, I would separate. If one of my children, I have children that are in their 30s, right? So if one of my children were to come and say, "Hey, Mom, I don't need you, and you this and you that." But
he's 17 though. At 17.
I believe King is 18, correct?
Okay, but what? So you would separate?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I always, my grandparents, even as a child, always taught me, if you go out there and you fall off your bike once, I'm going to dust the gravel off your knees. If you go out and you do the exact same thing, you deal with your own skin burn. So if you're telling me that you don't need me, then you're also telling me that I can deal with my own skin burn. So my responsibility is to sit back and watch. And now if you come back and you actually acknowledge that you need me, I'm going to be there. But until then, I'm going to allow you to spread your wings and fly.
That is what I did with my oldest daughter. And according to what she needed from me, she needed me to go after her. And I eventually went after her. When my ex-girlfriend actually told me that this is what the problem was, because my ex-girlfriend literally had somewhat of the same response from her dad. He was a very manly man, just like me. And sometimes we could be like, all right, look, if you ain't gonna do it, you could be over there and I don't care, right? And to a certain degree, I'm not going to say that's a wrong way of doing things, but the approach can be different and have a different outcome. So I'm not saying just leave and just forget about it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that fourth dimension of parenthood is not going to be touched if you just say forget it. And I think is not a good thing. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not a good thing. Because children are looking for something. I always talk about how every horror movie, the monster isn't running around killing people because it wants to. It's suffering. There's something there that they're looking for. Every horror movie, there's some book that you got to open. There's some seance that you got to say. There's some basement you got to go into. There's some well that you got to go down in. There's some story that you got to uncover. There's something going on with that ghost or the monster that is causing the ghost or the monster to be a ghost or a monster. And it is screaming out for help. And your job is to find out what the problem is. Scooby-Doo. Back in the day, we looked at Scooby-Doo. The person that was running around doing stupid stuff always said, I was trying to do this. And if it wasn't for you, I would have accomplished it. It was always something. So people, humans, don't just do stuff just to be doing it. So there's another dimension that if you care enough, you'll tap into it.
How do you think King is going to come to the realization that he actually does need his mother and father?
With T.I. coming to the realization that he wasn't the father that he thinks he actually was. And it's important for T.I., not King, for T.I. to sit down somewhere, be quiet, and listen to his son. And he may have done it. He has to do it again. And if he did it again, he has to do it a third time. That's just my opinion. Because I want to say this. Having a sex talk with your kid when they're 9 is a totally different sex talk when they're 13, right? So what may have not worked when King was 17 may work when he's 19. So because as King is doing whatever he's doing, he's having different experiences, right? And he needs his parents differently as he gets older. So you could turn around and say, yo, there's nothing I can do. It's hopeless. But King is learning more, experiencing more, getting rejected over here, getting accepted over here. And at some point, he could be like, damn, I'm starting to see what my dad was saying. But if you tune him out and be like, I'm done with it, he can turn around and need you next Thursday. But since you reject him, give up on him, that Thursday, he's going to just be quiet because his dad is just like, I'm done with him. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, but I will agree to disagree on that point because I feel like he will have to humble himself and go to his parents humbly and say, hey, I made bad choices. I actually do need you.
Why
and
can't
that may
T.I.
not even
himself?
come until King actually.
Why can't T.I. humble himself? Why King got to be the one to humble himself?
You know what?
I believe that King is the one that's acting out and telling his father that he doesn't need him in that situation. I think that T.I. was actually trying to remind King that, hey, listen, son, you didn't have the struggle that you say you had, you didn't have.
But he's saying he did struggle though. So he's dismissing his experience as a child. When your child tells you that they struggled and you're sitting there telling them that they didn't struggle, you are a dysfunctional parent because you're not listening. When the child says, I'm hurt, they're hurt. Imagine going to the doctor saying, hey, my arm hurts. And they say your arm doesn't. Are you going to still deal with that doctor?
Yeah, agree. Agreed. But you know what? I'm going to make a point from here. Someone in the comments said, Domini is the biggest star. Right? And the point I'm making is this. If Domini and his dad had an issue.
Damani.
Sorry, Damani.
Mm-hmm.
If Damani and his dad had an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think in his position he would be humble enough to go to his father and say, Dad, you know what? These last 2 years we haven't been speaking. I actually messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to repair our relationship. So I'm coming back to you to build this father-son relationship. Can you forgive me?
But whose responsibility is it to humble themselves in this situation? The father or the child? The father. The child is just a child. The child is going to do stupid stuff.
That's true to some degree, but at the same time, again, the kids have a role to play and the parents have a role to play. So it's not just about daddy coming to the forefront and saying, okay, I messed up, I did this, I did that. How do we fix it? No, the kid has to be willing enough to say, Daddy, I'm sorry.
But the parent needs to say, son, I'm sorry. And that's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. I had to say, I'm sorry to my daughter.
If that's the case, you're proving the point that it's a two-way street. That both have to come to the table. That's what you're pretty much saying. Okay. Both would have to come to the table.
I can agree with that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So
I think the way forward for them would be therapy in that case then. Not necessarily jumping on a podcast to put your business out there.
I agree.
But maybe starting with therapy, getting the issues fixed at the base root and going from there. And again, it doesn't have to be involving just father and son.
Yeah.
The wife could be a part of it, the daughter, the son, whoever.
Okay.
Because it could be a healing process for them as well.
Because you got to remember something. You got to remember, Zonique is going through the same thing. So it's not a figment of his imagination. Because y'all keep throwing out like, oh, he has emotional issues. What? Zonique got emotional issues too?
There you go.
She going through the same. Right. She going through the same thing. What about Zonique? Oh, she got emotional issues. She's the nope. Y'all ain't saying nothing about Zonique. She going through the same stuff. And for those who didn't see this, hold on, just say. So for those who didn't see it, let me play it real quick.
You know, can't go around sending him a letter.
Busy. They busy. Busy. They busy. I live a great lifestyle, and that's because these folks was putting in the work. They had me, and they said, I got to get to the work. Go to your grandma's house, and whatever. And my grandma let me do whatever I want to do. If I want to go over their house, and if I want to go to their house, and I want to go to their house, and that's where I was at. In some poor soul.
And where is it? Right here. Yeah, right here.
Right back to my grandma.
When you brought up daddy issues.
Oh no, where's the other part of where Zonique said something? Oh, here it is. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm trying to get it to the right spot. All right, here goes. Yo, I'm just gonna say this. These podcasters.
Okay, so I would say what hurt me would be like, I'm honestly like my mom being like with Tip all the time.
Damn.
Well, even now and today, like that's how it is.
So I met my stepdaughter at 8.
Okay.
I'm the same way. I want my girl to be everywhere with me. I didn't even take into account how that might make her feel.
All right.
I'll tell you later, Pop. I'll tell you later.
So Kana, what are your thoughts? You there?
Yes, I'm here. How you doing?
Hey.
This is so much to unpack.
Right.
Oh, it is a lot. If you could, I hope you do get the opportunity to talk to T.I. But
I love you.
I hope he's watching. But it's a lot to unpack on both sides. Time side, T.I. side, King side, Zonique side. We don't know how Messiah feels. We don't know what even the little one, Major, may be experiencing. It's a major problem.
Yeah.
It is deep, and you have eloquently expressed some very, very great points, and I commend you for that. And
thank you.
I think that every child has a different personality. And like you were saying about your child, how in the world did one daughter experience me different from another one? Like,
Mhm.
thinking they all are having the same experience because I'm here. Even in
Yep.
the classroom, you cannot accomplish that. You can't
Right.
even, if you're a teacher, you can't even accomplish that in a classroom. Like you said earlier, having a lot of kids and having to raise all of them at the same time, it's not easy. It's not
Can't
easy. And you
Yeah.
know what? You all as men are required, not just from your women at home, your mothers and your pastors, people demand things from you that you do, and you guys are steady trying to commit to the burden of performance to perform and be
Mhm.
at your highest value. And
Yeah.
and and men can get caught up in that. And the woman, that is the mother, if she is not rooted and grounded with her feet in the household, then there is somebody that's still missing. I was just reading the other day about the father's not being there, and the son is missing out on the father. So then the boy becomes more like the mother. I actually had that conversation last night.
Yeah.
So I think that King is dealing with so much, being a young man, being feminine, being masculine, being successful, living in my own light. I'm the black
The
sheep,
way he looks,
the way
everybody
he
keeps talking
looks.
about the way he looks. Yep.
Going to say that too. I believe that even his own parents don't like the way he looks. I'm just keeping it real, because we do
Mhm.
have those parents that will cast you off if you are lighter, darker, look different, look
Yeah.
weird. All the other ones look more melanated. Even little Major looks more melanated. He got dark hair.
Dark hair.
And I absolutely did agree with the last caller. She really did bring up some great points. And at the point where she was talking about, what, you got to separate and leave the child and let them go ahead on their own and let them do their thing. You have to know who to do that to. Now, I'm not recommending that you do it, but
Yeah.
what I am saying, that sometimes it does call for some kind of, you know what? I've done this with you. Now I'm gonna have to let you go and let you learn it. Because we was told that coming up. Go
Mhm.
ahead and bump your head a little bit because you're not listening. You're rebellious. And we saw a little bit of that rebellion in King as a little boy. We didn't know what was going on. But I would like to also say, though, Mr. Lego, is that we have to keep in mind that the cameras are on
Yeah.
and there is a level of entertainment. And with
Mhm.
these kinds of shows that they call reality shows, you're alive because you're not filming all day. Now, that'd be one thing if y'all got the cameras on them all day, but you don't. We don't know what's going to happen after we watch T.I. and Tiny. You
Yeah.
understand? We don't know the backdrop. Somebody like you that may know a T.I. or came from the same neighborhood, you can probably see into that a little bit deeper. But for those of us that are just strictly watching from the television, we don't know what's really real. And we have to keep in mind that there is still a level of entertainment, and don't be bought on every single thing, because it
Mhm.
could just be mere acting.
Yeah.
It could be.
I
And I
agree.
but for the lesson, if it is real, because these skits and stuff is getting on my nerve. But if we look at this and learn from it, and it is still good content, and you've done a great job today. I think you gave a whole counseling session today, and I think everybody in the chat, I think that everybody that got a super chat, they need to send something. Y'all need to put up a cash app or something. Tap the screen on TikTok, like the button on YouTube. Make sure you like the button on Facebook, because I'm telling you, you all just got a free counseling session from Mr. Let Go, and with his views, whether you agree with him or not. I think he did a good job in sorting out some of this stuff. And I think that some of these techniques and some of these things that you said can possibly help them if this is what it is. So that's all I have to say about that.
And thank you for saying that. And listen to Kana, because y'all was dropping the super chats and they stopped. So Cash App is Aaron 1000, $ Aaron 1000. If you enjoyed the show, drop a Cash App, Aaron 1000, or either drop a super chat, drop a $200 super chat right now.
That's right. No, you're right, because that's what it would cost. I mean, you literally just, I was sitting here listening. I'm like, wow, this is therapeutic.
Yeah.
This is therapeutic, and this is good information. And it would be nice to see some of these kinds of shows come across, from the parenting perspective, because I don't think we deal with it enough. And I think you're probably one of the only podcasters that talk about, family, being a husband, being a father,
Yeah.
leaving the family, getting the divorce. You're very transparent about that. You're very
Mhm.
honest about that. And that does help heal somebody else's life and give them some insight and perspective on what they could have gone wrong in a man who was in your position, right? Because you were
Yeah.
saying T.I. is a better man than me. Well, wait, because T.I. is in this situation that you've already bypassed. You've already come this way. So now you're better. Now you probably need to go help him, because he is going to need the perspective that you brought as a man and learning. And remember Snoop Dogg had this problem with his son. You remember it was a similar situation where his son
I
wanted to
don't
go
know.
to the LA football team or whatever. And it was a little bit of scuffle between Snoop Dogg and his son. And Snoop
I don't know.
Dogg, same thing that T.I. did to King, kind of brushed him off.
Mhm. And I
That
think that's what we men do. We spend a lot of non-energy just brushing our children off, and just like, whatever, and I think that's
you
not necessarily the best way to go.
I think, Miss Lego, let me ask you this. Do you think that is because men have like getting in touch with their, not feelings per se, but just like, okay, that's just too girly, get over, get over it.
No. It's
What do
we
you
lead by example. We don't
Mhm.
sit around and tell you, did. We're gonna warn you, and if you go out and do it, you hurt yourself. It's like, oh well. But at the same time,
Mhm.
whether the child has a father or whether the child doesn't have a father, you
Mm.
still have to meet them where they are and
Okay.
let them know, like, yo, um, what's going on with you? How can I support you? That how can I support you thing? Not let me do it for you, because we're not going to be a mommy. We're not going to do nothing for you. We're not going to put your clothes. We ain't doing nothing for you. Okay. We ain't
Mhm.
even going to let you win if we play a game together, right?
Mhm.
That's not what we do. We teach you competitiveness, but at the same time, sometimes we forget to continually remind the child that you're not out here by yourself. I'm still here to support you. I'm just not going to put your pants on for you.
Right. So you're there more so to coach, to kind of,
Yes, we're going to be hands off and coach, and not just let me do it for you. I ain't doing nothing for you.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what would be the disconnect, especially, I wouldn't just say our fathers in our community.
That's the word. The disconnect is a disconnect without connecting back. Like, we have to stay connected.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have something I teach the
Mm-hmm.
women is important to understand that you have to be apart while being apart. I'll say
Right.
it again. Being apart while being apart, which
Mm-hmm.
means I'm a part of this, but I'm apart from this at the same time. Like,
Mm.
I know my boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, we can be cool, but don't, it's like two magnets. We could be
Right.
right here, but don't touch me.
Right. Yeah. And
Respect my boundaries as a parent, or respect my boundaries as a family member. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Your mama, your cousin, don't get too close, because I need my boundaries, but I'm here for you.
Right. Right. That was and I don't mean to get biblical, but I wanted to drop something as far as this whole dynamic that we're watching here. And another, thing you said was the children don't see the parent as the parents; they see them as the sibling.
Yeah.
I also think that they see them as the enemy, because
The
th-
ops.
it,
Yes.
yeah, they see them like that. But there is a good scripture that we always say, which is to honor your father and your mother. This is the
Mhm.
first commandment with the promise. If you honor your father and your mother, things will go well for you. and you will have a long life on earth. But fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them.
But one thing that's not in there is you cannot dismiss your child's reality. You cannot make your child feel like something that did happen didn't happen, because that's the most dangerous part of parenthood. We only see things from a parental viewpoint, and we don't see the children as, hey, I experience you differently than you experienced me. Like, I'm experiencing my child a certain kind of way, but my child is experiencing me a certain kind of way. So it's two sides. And that's why I use the word dimension. It's the first, second, third, and fourth dimension to parenting.
Right. I believe that you're right. And that's why I read that. Now, it's not going to spell out everything, but the last verse of that, it says, do not provoke. I believe that that child has been provoked to anger by T.I., the father,
The dismissiveness.
because of the way he has treated. Now, treated can be exactly what you just said, which is to cast off or to disregard and not be. See, what you're saying is, listen, when you say, oh, well, that's not your experience. I provided for you. I paid all of the bills. You got your own Gucci. You driving in my Hummer. I bought you a PS5, 10 of them, or whatever the case may be. Like you said, that's not what it's about. What you're about is supporting your children mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because all of that, as a human being, that's what we are. And so you're speaking exactly what that scripture is saying. You're saying that as a father, I need to sit down with you and talk to you rather than push you to anger, make you mad, and then say your feelings don't matter. And then now we just walk away from it. And then we never solve this.
Because context is everything.
That's right. That's right.
And context is all throughout parenting.
That's right.
And we have to understand the context within the parenting and the other side of the parenting, which is the childing.
That's right.
So I will respect my parent, but I need my parent to respect me also. And part of the respect is, don't dismiss how I feel.
That's right. That's right. And that's what the younger generation keeps saying. That's like they're clarion to the older generation. You need to respect me, and we looking like, respect you. We grown. What talking about? You need to listen to what we're saying. you know. So anyway, this was a great discussion, and like I said, y'all have gotten a free counseling session from Mr. Let Go. So I hope y'all let go of your some of that wallet money and send them something, because this was therapeutic and very insightful. And I hope that we get to see something else from you. Are you gonna be talking about Tia going home? You gonna talk about that too? Because I was waiting for you to talk about it.
Yeah, once I found out she went home, because there could have just been Thanksgiving. So I'm not. I don't just run out just talk about stuff. I want to, just like I sat on this for like 3 days. I want to sit on, pause, but I want. But yeah, I want to not sit on something, but I want to just let things marinate, and before I talk about certain things.
I see. Okay, I got you. All right.
Can I add one thing?
Go ahead.
Oh, let me pause.
The one thing that I would like to add is that I think that we get in trouble, our generation, right? I think as parents, where we tend to get ourselves in a little bit of trouble is having that do as I say and not as I do mentality when it comes to raising children. I'm a firm believer that behavior in children is learned behavior.
Yes.
Right? So it's behavior that they've seen either from us inside the home, they've seen it online on social media, But behavior is learned behavior, right? So we can sit and do as I say, not as I do, but that's just not a realistic expectation for us to have on our children. And I agree with you 100%. My children can come and tell me, hey, Mom, when I was growing up, my experience was this. My response to that is, wow, I didn't realize you felt that way, right? I'm sorry that you felt that way. Yeah. I don't agree with how you feel, but you're allowed to feel however you want to feel. You can't challenge, right?
How somebody feels.
My job is not to make them feel any differently, right? Because they're speaking from their own experience. So my job is not to make them feel any differently, but as a parent, I don't have to agree to it. I don't have to succumb to it, right? I have to acknowledge it, right? And the only thing we can do from this point on is move forward, right? Because now you've let me know how you felt. But there's to me, it's the balance is off when you succumb to everything that someone says they experienced, right?
Yep. And that's the biggest, and that's the overbearing point of this whole show. Acknowledge your child's reality, because their reality is not your reality. And stop arguing with your children about how they feel about their own life.
Agreed.
That's
I also want to say this really quick. I think that what we should do, and this is something that I do with my own son, we regularly, it'll be like, from 2 to 3 months to sit down and really have a deep conversation. Okay, my parenting, what he may be, what he's going through, just like a conversation, just a check-in. I even recommend that in just relationships, come to the table. What am I doing? How can I do better? Have I made you feel any way? Did I say, am I acting a certain way? Just check in and check up. Do a checkup. We do this on jobs all the time. You get
I love it. Yeah. Checkups.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, my phone is about to ring off the hook. I got all these calls I got to return. I appreciate y'all coming up and being a part of the show. Thank all of y'all, because y'all made the show even better, because I like adding y'all's insight. So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Nice day. Okay. Be blessed.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And before everybody leaves, make sure
Deeper Discussion card game is meant to give you and other players deep understanding of how we all deal with relationship, when or if things get serious. One of the biggest reasons why people break up is because of underlying family issues. This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group. So have fun.
Question number 1. What is the one thing you wanted but didn't receive when you were young? Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad.
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. It'll even tell you what's wrong with your sneaky link. If you and your sneaky link need to have a conversation, these are the cards. The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
A dating card game for introverts who have a hard time asking the much needed compatibility questions. Deeper Discussions, the card game.
The link to buy my card game is over this video. The link to buy my card game is in the bio on TikTok. The link to buy my card game is under this video. There's a shop button. You can buy my card game. The link to buy this card game is in the chat also. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day, and share this video. And if you have not liked this video yet, hit a like button right now. So if y'all are on here and y'all know y'all ain't hit no like button, hit the like button right now and share this video. 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 Oh, you're so welcome, Miss Shell. Thank you so much. Everybody share this video. Hit the like button. Share this video. Share this video. Hit the like button. Talk to y'all later.